The Republican Party of Wisconsin disputing an ethics complaint filed by Waupaca County Republican Party Chairman Joel Bartel against State Representative Kevin Peterson. Bartel claims that the disclaimer on Peterson's campaign flyers, citing that the Republican Party of Wisconsin paid for them, is an endorsement of Peterson by the party. The party's communication director tells Action 2 News this is not an endorsement of Peterson and that the party is paying for the bulk mailing system used to mail those flyers. Representative Peterson also tells Action 2 News he's confident the Wisconsin Ethics Commission will dismiss the complaint and sanction those who filed it.